Okay, welcome back. And tonight we're going to be talking about using your technology to find attributes of quadratics, or more specifically, using a TI n-spire CX to find key attributes of quadratics. And what kind of key attributes are we talking about? Well, we're going to talk about finding the vertex, the min, or maximum. Okay, we're going to talk about finding zeros, roots, solutions, solution sets, and x-intercepts, which are all the same thing. Okay, all those terms mean finding the x-intercepts, and we're going to find y-intercepts. And along with this finding the vertex, we'll also be able to look at axis of symmetry. Okay, and that's pretty much the whole kit and caboodle of finding attributes of quadratic functions. So like I said, for this, we're going to find these attributes using technology or using our TI n-spire CX calculator, which is a really great machine. There's a lot of excellent things about it, but you can do the same exact thing on a website if you don't have that available at your house. A website called Desmos, okay, .com. And Desmos is just a graphing website. You go to www.desmos.com. At the top, as soon as you go there, you don't even have to log in. There'll be a Start Graphing button. Click that, and then you can start typing in functions to your heart's content. It is fantastic, and you can do all the same things as long as you know what you're looking for. So, really, what I'm teaching you in this video is what you're going to be looking for. Okay. Now, let's turn to our fantastic TI n-spire calculator. Okay, for this video, I'm going to be using this function here, this f of x equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. And we're going to talk about all the possible things you could find given that function. Okay, so let's go into our calculator. Give me a minute just to zoom in on it so you can really see what's going on here. Okay, hopefully it doesn't die on me. Alright, so starting at the home screen, in order to find all these things, I need to graph it, okay? 99% of the time. When in doubt, guys, just graph it and see what you find. Okay, so we're going to do new document. Do you want to save? Again, I always press no there. And I'm going to add a graph. Okay, and it's going to come up with this little f1 of x equals, starting to graph function. So now I just have to type in my function. And again, our function was x squared minus 6x plus 5. Okay, and then once I've done that, I'm just going to hit the enter button, and it's going to graph that beautiful thing for me. Look right there. There it is. Okay, and it tells you what you graphed, so if you think it's a little off, double check this line right here, this equation, to make sure you're correct. Ours is good. Okay, and we're going to start by finding the y-intercept, okay, the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is going to be the point where this curve, where this line here, touches that y-axis. So in order to do pretty much everything on here, I'm going to use the same function. That's going to be the trace function. So hit menu, and then go down to trace, and then we're going to do a graph trace. Okay, and you'll notice it's going to start right up here. And 99% of the time, in fact, I haven't come across a single situation where I haven't seen this thing start at the y-intercept. Okay, so we know from this that our y-intercept is going to be positive 5. Okay, at the point 0, 5. Now, if I use my right and left arrow keys to move along this graph, going further down, okay, it's going to hit this point where it's on the x-axis. That's an x-intercept, a 0, a root, a solution set, okay? And look, it says 0 for you. It notifies you, hey, this is something important to look at, okay? So let's take a look. Well, now we have one of our two x-intercepts. So I'm going to go ahead and record that. One of our x-intercepts is going to be positive 1, or the point 1, 0. And then I'm going to keep going down using the right arrow. All the way over to the next 0. Okay? And that is another x-intercept. That's another solution. Okay? So that's going to be the point 5, 0, or a solution of 5. Okay? A root of 5. Okay. Now, let's go back over because I think we missed something here. Right down here, the very lowest possible point, I'm going to have my minimum, okay, my minimum. And that's going to be the lowest possible point on that curve. All right, that's going to be the lowest possible point. So that is actually a minimum. Now you may only have a maximum if it's opening downward like an N, but this one is opening upward like a U. So we're going to have a minimum. And that minimum is going to be the point 3, -4. Okay. And then if you are intimately familiar or you know about these key attributes, you know that the vertex actually occurs at this minimum point here, this 3, -4. So we also get our vertex there. Okay. Now, if you remember from one of my other videos, the axis of symmetry is going to be an invisible line that's going right down the center here, right through that vertex, through that minimum point, okay, and all the way down. And if we were to fold this graph down this vertical line, if we folded it on that line, these two halves, this half and this half here, are going to match up exactly. So folding that graph down that line will match those up. And that's what's called the axis of symmetry. And the axis of symmetry is always going to be the equation x equals and the x value for the vertex or the minimum/maximum. Okay, so in this particular equation, my axis of symmetry is just going to be x equals 3. Okay. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things we can learn from graphing this function on a calculator or in Desmos. You can learn all of those things. Thank you very much and have a good night.